Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. That's like real official for me to say right now, and it feels good. I did not know how to start this, so yeah, let's go. As you can tell from the title, this is for my "'Tis the Season to Slay" class. It's my second year hosting it, and this class is going to be focused on taking your day look to a night look. And so the first look is our day look, and we are going to start with fresh skin. I had already cleansed my skin and put on sunscreen, and then I primed with the Tatcha silk canvas, and then went in with the Milk Hydro Grip. And you just want to make sure that you get it all in the pores and massage your skin, get that blood flowing so you can have like a nice canvas to work on. And like I always do, I set that with the Mercier translucent powder in medium deep. Now you can skip that step. That step is not necessary. And right here I was confused because I could not find my e.l.f. brow pencil, so I went with the Maybelline, and I was kind of upset because I really like that e.l.f. pencil and I found it towards the end of the video. But Maybelline got me because I didn't this is a really good pencil, so I'll probably be using it again, especially in my one brand tutorial that will be coming soon. I'm going to do Maybelline because I already have a majority of their products. And so yeah, we're just gonna start with outlining the bottom of the brow, and you want to use light pressure, not super heavy unless you want a more defined brow, but I like it soft, and so I apply light pressure and just start at the foundation, building that natural brow shape that I already have, and then I go in and fill in hair-like strokes throughout the brow and then connect it with the top. And once that is done, I go back to the front and I draw straight up, so it'll mimic the natural brow hairs. In the front of your brows, your hair grows straight up, and once you start to get into the body of the brow, they kind of slant and go towards whatever direction. Sorry. I'm trying to explain this the best way that I can, but they go straight up in the front, and then once you get into the body of the brow, they kind of slant and start to lay sideways. And I'm keeping this video in regular time so you can see how long that it actually takes. So this video is a lot longer than my usual videos and will probably be one of the longest ones because I don't really like long videos. I know for me, my attention span is super short, so if I see a video that's longer than 30 minutes, rarely will I watch it. But this is for everyone that is joining my class on this Saturday, December 19th. I'm so excited, and this is just a follow-up for them to have as a guide to remember everything that we talked about. And so we're going to do the same thing on the other brow, just filling it in, starting at the base of the brow. I like to think of brows as a house. So you draw the foundation, you put down the foundation, then you build up the walls, you frame the house, and then you put on the roof. And that's how I always explain filling in your brows. But if you like to draw the foundation and then put on the top and then fill it in, that works too. It's all about your preference, but for me, I find that way easier because once I get that foundation and I start filling it in, it's easier to connect the top. And we have a special guest, my niece Reagan. If y'all saw the chair moving, which you probably didn't, but she interrupted this video a lot, so I just gave her a quick cameo. Then I go in with my Studio Finish concealer from MAC. This is shade NW40. It is a lighter shade, but it's not super light, just enough to give me a different tone from my actual skin tone, because I use NC50 for my foundation, but because I went to a warmer concealer in a shade higher, it gives me a different undertone. So that's why I always go towards that shade. And then I use a flat shader brush to outline the bottom of the brow, and then I take my ring finger and blend it in. That way it's super smooth, and when I go to prime my lid, it all blends together. And don't be afraid to use your fingers. I always say that your fingers are tools. Like, when in doubt, use your fingers. But you still need a brush set. And forgive me for not using one brush set. I realized that after I was done recording, I was like, dang, I should have just went and purchased a specific brush set, so that whatever brushes I use, if you guys wanted to go and purchase them and follow along, you could have done that. Forgive me, I apologize. But in the class, I will talk about specific brush sets that you can use. It is so hard to say that, but I am taking my time. No rush, because we got a whole almost 40 minutes to get through this video. But we just repeat the same steps on the other side and make sure they're good. And then I go in and I set them with the Benefit Brows 24-hour brow setter. So with my everyday looks, I always start with my face, my base first, and now we're gonna go in and color correct. I was gonna say conceal, but we're color correcting. Any dark marks, dark circles under the eyes, this is when you wanna go ahead and do that. And so I use the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Orange. All of the products that I use, I will list in the description box below, so you can always check that out, especially for those coming from the class. Yeah. So you just want to go ahead and hit all those dark spots and your under eyes if you have that issue, and blend it out with a beauty sponge. I am using the Morphe beauty sponge. Real Techniques has a great one, and you can always go with the higher end beauty blender. However, that one is $20, and if you want to be more frugal and on the inexpensive side, Morphe and Real Techniques are great dupes. And you want to make sure that you wet them first. Run them under the water for about a minute or so, warm temperature, and then have a tissue or a hand towel, well, not a tissue, but a hand towel or a washcloth on the side. Like I was saying, you want to have a hand towel or a disposable hand towel. They're all disposable. What am I talking about? Sorry, y'all, my nerves is getting to me a little bit, but that's what it is. It's a disposable face cloth. I use that for wringing out the excess water, and then I go in with my foundation, which you can see was MAC Studio Fix Liquid, and that is in shade NC50. And I only used 2 pumps of that because I didn't want this to be super heavy, and I just put it on on the back of my hand first, and then I dip my sponge into it and apply it all over my face. And you can take your time. There is no rush unless you're like running late and you need to get it on, but I would always suggest taking your time to do your makeup. That's how you know you will get a beautiful application and you completed all your steps, and it just flows. This is like you time. This is self-care, so you don't want to rush this moment. Like, just enjoy the process of turning glam, I guess. I don't know. Enjoy the process of enhancing your beauty. There we go. That's it. Come on, Francesca. You can do this. Yes. So we just blend all of that out, and we run it across our eyelids because that's going to be almost our base for our eyeshadows later. Then we go in with the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer, I think. Hold on. Yes, it's the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Multi-Use Concealer. And we just place that under our eyes and on our lids. We're not going to do the full highlight in the forehead, down the nose, Cupid's bow. We're just going to keep it simple under the eyes and bring some life back there. And then we're going to use that as the base for our eyeshadow as well. So in my next video, I'm going to talk about how I did not record at all in the month of November. Like, I definitely hit a rough patch, and it showed because this was my first time recording a makeup look since I did that smoky eye. And even though I posted it in November, I recorded that back in October. So yeah, check out my next video if you want to hear more about that. And so we just take our time and blend that in. And you will make a lot of weird faces. I realized that during this video. I was like, this is not aesthetically pleasing. Like, my mouth wide open, I just look a plum fool. But it's okay. You're gonna look great at the end of it. And here we are using the Mercier translucent powder in Honey. And so here I'm showing you that I still have that same disposable face cloth that I use to take out the excess water in my beauty sponge. And so I placed that in front of me, and that's what I put a lot of my products on. I put my color corrector down there. Like, I'll squeeze it out and then use the applicator to apply product. I dumped some of the translucent powder out of the container onto the cloth and work out of that little pile, because that container, I got the travel size one. It's pretty small, but it's more affordable for my pockets right now, and I was testing it out. So I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna like this, but it's Mercier. She has great products. And so because my sponge couldn't fit into it, it's easier to pour it out and work off of your cloth. And it just, I don't know, it just satisfies me because I'm not using a whole lot of product. And yeah, I hope this is making sense, y'all. Then I go back to the medium deep. Now, I did buy the bigger one of this because I use it more often, obviously. But yeah, I feel like I'm not making sense, but it's okay. We're just gonna keep moving on. This is the process. This is what growth looks like. And we're going to use that powder to set the whole face with the same sponge. So far I've only used the flat brush to outline my brows and the beauty sponge. And then we go in with a fluffier sponge to blend that all together, the highlighting powder and the medium deep powder. And now we're getting into one of the products that I would like you guys to purchase. This is the Morphe. This is the Morphe That's Rich palette. It's a Complexion Pro palette. It has 4 parts, obviously, and you have a matte brightener, a matte contour, and 2 bronzers, 2 blushes, and 2 highlights. And what I love about this, it comes in like 5 different shades. So I have the 8R, that's rich, and there's one beneath that. I can't remember the shade, but if you go to Ulta on their app or the website, you can find all the shades of it and find which shade works best for your complexion. And I just love this because of all the components of it. You get a brightener, a contour, and 2 bronzers. And as you can see, I showed you the one that I use for my cheek. It is super pigmented. I use the one closest to the contour. You don't need a whole lot. And then I use the lighter one for my nose, just to bring back some definition to the nose. And I pinched a small fluffy brush. Instead of using another brush, I just pinched it to get that precise line on the edge. And as you can tell, I'm like, wow, this is like highly pigmented. And it is. And you don't need a whole lot. And so after I get it there, I just let it go and blend it in all together. Then I go in with the blush, the matte blush, because there is a matte blush, and then a shimmer blush, and so I go in with the matte blush first and apply that to the apples of my cheeks with another fluffy brush. And again, you don't have to use a whole lot of pigment. Not a whole lot of, oh gosh. You don't have to use a whole lot of product. It is super pigmented, so you don't need a whole lot. And if you want to, you can drag it across your nose just a little bit, but you don't have to. And for the eyes, I am using the Mented Everynight eyeshadow palette again because I love this palette. This is perfect for a day to night look. And the first color that we're going in with is Philly. It is the second lightest shade in the palette, and I also went with this palette because of the shade range of the mattes. Whatever your complexion is, it is perfect to go from day to night, so you will find that shade that blends in with your skin tone a good bit, and a shimmer shade that will complement your skin tone, whatever it is. And so you just go in with a fluffy blending brush, and we're just going to use that one brush for this look. Jesus, help your daughter. And then we're going to go in and pick up New Orleans. That's that bronzy shimmer shade, and we're going to pick it up flat. So we picked up Philly with the head down and like in circular motions tapping into it because we want it on all of those bristles. But for New Orleans, you want to pick it up flat. That way you can get as much pigment onto your lid as possible, and then just pat and drag. And so same, go in on the top with the fluffy, the same brush for Philly, and brush that into the crease, and then flip it sideways for New Orleans, that shimmer shade. And then you just go back and forth until you get a lot of pigment, till you get it as bright as you want. Again, picking it up flat. And I'm sitting there like, okay, which side is it on? Like, I promise y'all, I am not perfect when it comes to this stuff, but I've done it a long time to where I can teach others. But just know I am not perfect at all. And so you just keep repeating the same steps until it's to your desired look. But these shadows are pigmented enough to where you don't have to keep going like back and forth 10 times. I probably did it like 3 or 4 times. And then I went in with Benefit Cosmetics, their Real mascara. And I'm only using mascara for the day look. But if you have the time to put on lashes and would like lashes, by all means go for it. But I know during the day, it just wouldn't work for me. So it's just mascara for the day look. And I'm also usually late. So I know with me for lashes, like some days when I am putting them on, like they go on great. And then other days it's taking me 5 ever to put them on. So I know like for my day look, to keep it quick and simple, it's best for me to just go with mascara. And then to wrap things up, this is Mented Cosmetics again. The shade is Send Nudes, and it's just a simple brown lip gloss. And I love it because it just blends perfectly with my natural lip color. Now, if you want to go with a pop of color, you certainly can, but for me, I just prefer a natural, neutral lip gloss. But if you want a lipstick to keep it more matte, you can. If you want to just go in with some Carmex or Vaseline or your favorite lip product, that works. And I was laughing because I thought my can was empty. I definitely need to go get a new one. We had enough for this video. And that wraps it up for the day look, guys. Get you some slow-mos in there and then we're gonna transition to the day look. I mean, oh god, the nighttime look. Okay, so now for the nighttime, we're going to start with the eyes, back with the Mented palette again, and we're going to take the shade Atlanta, and this is a more dense brush, and we're going to pick it up the same way that we picked up Philly, because we just want to blend it out on that outer edge, that outer V, to deepen up the crease, or deepen up the look just a smidge bit more. And we're going to take it into the crease, that outer V area. That's where we're going to focus that dark brown color. And the lighting did change a little bit because I adjusted it. Still trying to figure that whole situation out. I rearranged my setup just a little bit where I'm at, and so yeah, we're just going to keep blending that out, and then we're going to add it to the bottom lash line. You want to look up to the ceiling and just continue to blend it out. And you're going to have to make that weird face with your mouth sometimes. It's okay. I am like low-key panicking on the inside while recording this. I don't know why, but it's okay. We're going to get through it. So just keep blending that out. And here I am showing you the difference. Keep picking it up at the bottom, tap off the excess, and then start applying it to the outer V. And the reason why I didn't want to use the brown shade, not the brown shade, but the other fluffier brush that we use for Philly, is because it's too fluffy to get that precise point of that edge, like that outer V. So I wish I had shown the difference between the two brushes, because it would be a lot clearer as to why I went with this brush. This is actually the MAC 217 brush. It's one of my favorite brushes from MAC, and like just in general because of how dense it is, but yet fluffy enough to give you a good blend. And so yeah, then we go in with our ring finger in the shade Miami, and we just use our finger to pat that all over the lid. So you don't need another brush for this part. You can just use your fingers. And using your fingers for a shimmer shade like Miami, you will get a better payoff. Not that you can't get it with a brush, but using your fingers just helps it shine a little bit more. And then you want to start with the inner corner, because this is going to be our inner corner highlight as well, and then add it on top of New Orleans that we put down earlier. And I'm just checking to make sure that we're good, and I'm looking like, is it blended enough? And that's when I go in with my brush and just blend it out some more. Blend out that Atlanta shade. Now if you want to take it up another notch, you can definitely go in with the black Brooklyn and just tap it like once or twice, and then add that again in that outer V if you want more definition, but I thought this was enough. And so I take the same fluffy brush from earlier that we used into Houston just to add to the brow, and use that as a brow bone highlight, and to transition Atlanta just a little bit more. Then I go in with MAC's Technical Liner in Superfly. It's a black eye pencil, and just line my waterline. And then I also tight line. So tight lining is taking it into your upper lash line, or the upper waterline I should say, because it's not technically the lash line, but it's right beneath the lash line. Anywho, you'll see. But This was a little weird looking. It wasn't cute at all, so I made it short as possible because it just wasn't cute. You guys will see some of it, but you just have to like kind of roll your eyes into the back of your head a little bit. Like, nobody wants to see a whole minute of that, so I try to keep it as short as possible. You don't have to do that if you want to just take it to your waterline and that's it, that's fine. Or if you want to take it to the top and smudge it out, you can do that, but I prefer to tight line and do it in my waterline, and then I go back and blend it out some more. And now I'm putting on some lashes that I've worn before. I just pulled them out from a case and reapplied them. Wear your lashes more than once, especially if you have purchased them from MAC Cosmetics or ordered them online from somewhere. Get as many wears out of them as possible. You can always clean them with alcohol, let them dry, and then reapply them. And if you have glue that's built up on it, you can use a makeup remover with a Q-tip. Take that off first and then go in with your alcohol in the Q-tip and clean the band and reapply them. You should be able to get like at least up to 5 wears out of your lashes, especially if you purchase them from a more high-end company. And so this was actually a day where they went on pretty smoothly. Yeah, I can say that. I am getting better with application though, because if I had recorded this video like 2 years ago, lashes would not even be in them at all. But we thank God for growth. And we're done. And we do a little dance because it's like, yes. Here I go in with MAC Studio Fix powder. Clearly I love the Studio Fix line. It's just hands down one of my favorites, holy grail product. I use the shade NC45. It's one shade lighter than my foundation, and that's okay because it will oxidize just a little bit. But I'm just using it here to fix up any shiny spots or just give me another layer of oomph, if you want to say. And so we are just gonna try out that brightener. We didn't need it, but I just wanted to see how it worked, and I wasn't mad at it at all. Like, it worked. So if you want to try it out, give it a try. See, I ain't mad at it. And then I go in with the contour shade. Now this was funny. I tapped it a few times because I'm like, we're just gonna see how it works. And my God. Yeah. So you're gonna see me start blending aggressively because I'm like, that is a lot. And I was a little concerned. I'm like, girl. And so I just go in a little more aggressively than usual just to blend that out. But take your beauty blender if that happens. No extra product, just using whatever is on it to blend it out. This time, tap twice, that is it. Tap off the excess and then go into that cheekbone. You want to start at the tip of the ear and come down to like mid cheek. And just blend in circular motions and blend upwards. You don't want to blend down because that will just elongate your cheek and you kind of want to snatch it up. So blend up. And then we take it to our forehead, the temples, and even there, I was like, oh my God. So just be mindful of how many times you tap into that contour shade. You do not need a lot. Like one tap and then blend that out. And you want to make it connect with what we just did on the cheek. You can connect it to the tip of the ear. And then I go in with a more dense brush into that second bronzer shade, the one that we used earlier for our cheek. We're going to use for our nose now since it's the nighttime look. And as you can tell, still super pigmented. So anytime you feel like it is too much pigment and this is like a lot, just take your beauty blender and blend it out. You don't need to add any more product to it. Just use what is left on your beauty blender and blend it out. And here I'm gonna blend it out first with my brush, adding no extra products, just kind of getting it to where I need it to be, and then I go in with the beauty blender and blend it out because that's a lot. It's overwhelmingly a lot. And here we go with the beauty blender. Or beauty sponge, I should say, because that's not the beauty blender. And then we go in with the shimmer blush in the same brush from earlier. And then we take the highlighter, the gold highlighter. I don't know what that was about. I honestly don't remember, but you're gonna take that same brush that we use for the brightener and slide it side to side to pick up the product. And you really gotta turn your head to see how it shines and apply that to the highest point of your cheekbone. And as you can see, that is a highlighter. Like, this whole palette is pigmented. You get your money's worth for it. And I think it's compact enough to travel with. I would definitely travel with this because I have everything that I need. My highlighters, bronzers, blushes, and the brightener powder. So that's like 4 different products that I don't have to pack. I can just get in this one compact. And then I hit the bridge of my nose, the tip of my nose, and my Cupid's bow. And again with the beauty blender, no extra product, just blending it all in. Because I don't like my highlighter to like just sit there. I want it to melt in with my skin and everything be a uniform look. And since we went in with the powder underneath the brow bone and touching things up, we need to touch up our brows because we can lose them throughout the day and with freshening up our face and everything. And so I just go back in with the same brow pencil and touch up the tail of the brow and underneath. And I use a little more pressure than earlier for this bottom part because you can lose that definition when you're applying like the other eyeshadows and blending. So you just want to go back and redefine that some more. So it's not a whole lot of work as in when you first apply them, but just enough to touch them up and make them look more fresh. And then we go in and set that all again with the same Morphe setting spray. And in the class, you will know of the other setting spray products that I like and recommend. And I love this fan, y'all. I found it at Dollar Tree. Yes. So find your local Dollar Tree and see if they have them. They say slay, and I'm like, that is perfect. So for our lip, we're gonna use MAC Retro Matte liquid lipstick in the shade Old Lady, but we're going to line our lips first with their lip pencil in Vino. So obviously I am a lover of all things MAC Cosmetics and Maybelline. Like, if I had to choose a high end in a drugstore, it would be those two companies. you just line your lips. Sorry, I was talking to my sister. But you just follow your natural lip shape. If you want to overline your lips, you can. I don't, because I think they're full enough. But with my Cupid's bow, like, I do define one side a little bit more than the other because I feel like it's a little lopsided. I don't know if other people have that issue, but for me, I just feel like my lips can be a little wonky. So I'll tuck my lips in just a little bit to make sure that they're even. There are times where I still feel like it's not, but whatever. And then apply your lipstick. Now, you don't have to go with this color. This is just the color that I chose. But if you want to go with a red, a maroon, a deep brown, a pink, whatever pop of color you choose, it works. I would just recommend a pop of color versus like a neutral shade because this is your nighttime look and you want it to catch the people's eye, you know? You want to make a statement. And so I just take a Q-tip now and clean up the corners because they can bleed a little bit. And then I go in and get the inside because you don't want the lipstick on your teeth. I know some people just take their thumb and do that little number. Not here. And that is it for the night look. I did change my accessories. I took my necklace off and the smaller earrings that I had on and put on some statement earrings, and that was it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It took a while for me to get through, not gonna lie. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see your looks. If you do recreate this or go through the steps, please tag me at the fancy one. And I hope you all have happy holidays. Love God, love yourself, and let's try and make this world a better place. See y'all in the next video.